bring tidings from the Dread Lady. Yes, you're the one. I'm certain of it. The Dread Lady was quite specific, though her description made you sound more, imposing. No matter, I bring you a message from my mistress, Lyrinth the Dremora. The great and powerful Lyrinth requires the assistance of a chosen mortal. That would be you, by the way. Among other things, I can tell because of the way your hands are glowing. This concerns the ongoing threat of the Order of the Waking Flame. Fanatical followers of Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Prince of Disaster. While my mistress is merely curious, she has learned that the cult's plans pose a grave threat to the mortal world. Will you assist Lyrinth? She will compensate you, of course. Meet my mistress in the Oblivion city of Fargrave, outside the southern gate. Lyrinth said she would wait for you there. Hurry, chosen mortal! The fate of both Fargrave and Nirn hang in the balance. Some of the locals call it the Celestial Palanquin, but most know it simply as Fargrave. It's a city somewhere in Oblivion, sitting on a nexus of a multitude of realms. That's one of the reasons the place is so popular. It connects to everywhere. I am the Dread Lady's true prophet, her resounding voice in the mortal realm, and her herald in the Celestial Palanquin. You should feel honored that my mistress sent me to bring you her message. Bringing the message of a higher power to lesser beings is the standard definition of the word prophet, yes. And Lyrinth stands above all other higher powers. I do what the Dread Lady asks, and am honored to do so. How can I describe the beauty of the sun to a creature that has only known darkness? Lyrinth is a powerful Dremora, perhaps the strongest of her kind. She possesses a burning curiosity, forever seeking more wisdom and knowledge. And there is your first mistake. Attempting to apply finite morality to an infinite being. Lyrinth simply is. Right now, she wants to understand a danger that threatens Fargrave and Nirn. Help her, and you can save 2 worlds. No pressure or anything.
I'm searching for brave warriors to join a perilous endeavor. If you have the skills to survive and work well with others, then you could see your work greatly rewarded. As in many aspects of existence, collaboration is key to success. Oh, we never know when it will open or what it will contain. But this market is a rarity. The market always contains the Starlit Plaza and a district where all the treasures and danger lie. This market opened with 3 districts. I'll try to explain. Think of the market as a magical sandstorm. When the wind hits, it stirs everything up, uncovers secrets, smothers buildings. Anything is possible. To continue the imagery, I think whatever causes the sandstorm changed. Many explorers find strange valuables and powerful creatures looking for a fight. The market sometimes brings back familiar foes. You may face enemies you heard of or fought before. Staying close to other adventurers is prudent. I'll try to explain. Think of the market as a magical sandstorm. When the wind hits, it stirs everything up, uncovers secrets, smothers buildings. Anything is possible. To continue the imagery, I think whatever causes the sandstorm changed. Chaotic, exciting. The market confounds even the smartest scholar. Just know that the market is unpredictable. It is larger than before and more dangerous than ever. All things that an enterprising warrior like you can take advantage of. The factions have their own proclivities, so their vendors give distinct offerings available to members only. But you can always peruse their wares. See what could be available. Now, I can tell you about the factions. Which piqued your interest? They are creatures driven by insatiable curiosity. They can never truly be caged or kept from their goals. If there is a piece of you that longs to explore the crevices of this world, you will find a home with Malto and his 1,000 eyes. Unfortunately, I work alongside each of the factions and cannot join any of the ranks. Whatever choice you make will not be permanent. You can join a different faction the next time the market opens. Oh, certainly. If your questions are about my name, know that it is a title. I am a curator of curios, a collector of phenomenon, and an organizer of interest. In this instance, I assemble exciting new prospects for the patrons. I plundered districts until my passions turned elsewhere. Still, I like having some influence. Between the excitement of this new market and the battle between factions for supremacy, how can I not participate? Reputation, resources. The night market presents an opportunity for each of the factions to scavenge what they want and elevate their status in the eyes of the others. It is a friendly competition, but cutthroat in its own way. They can't. The night market may be a strange segment of Fargrave, but parts of it still exist in this plane. Fargrave's laws prohibit that sort of behavior. Besides, the factions don't want to kill each other. They want to defeat each other. I supped with Tackett in the House of Whims and hunted for secrets of the Orbis with Malto. I am less familiar with Caracal, though I respect his audacity. They trust me to lead interested adventurers to them. I do not disappoint. The factions have their own proclivities, so their vendors give distinct offerings available to members only. But you can always peruse their wares, see what could be available. Now, I can tell you about the factions. Which piqued your interest? They're newcomers to the night market and less experienced as a whole because of it. Still, Karakal Munai positioned himself alongside Malto and Tachyon as a formidable patron. If you value strength and disruption, consider the ruckus. The market presents a unique opportunity to collect what others want. Tacyon's a seasoned auctioneer. She always sets the starting price. This way, the gold add to their piles of jewels and leave the market with full coffers. I'm searching for brave I'm searching for brave warriors to join a perilous endeavor. If you have the skills to survive and work well with others, then you could see your work greatly rewarded. As in many aspects of existence, collaboration is key to success. The factions have their own. I'm searching for brave. The factions have their own proclivities. They're newcomers to the night market, and unfortunately, I work alongside each of the factions and cannot join. Oh, we never know when it will open. I'll try to explain. Many explorers find strange valuable. I'll try to explain. Think of the market. Chaotic, exciting. The market confounds even us. The factions have their own proclivities. The market presents a... unfortunately, I work... Oh, certainly. If you're I'm searching for brave warriors to... Oh, certainly. Reputation? They can't. The night market may be a strength. I supped with Tachyon and the factions have their own... I'm searching for brave warriors to join a perilous endeavor. If you... Oh, we never know when it will open. Or I'll try to explain. Chaotic, exciting. The market... Many explore... I'll try... Many... I'll try... They're newcomers.
As repaired.
The Anchorite! You're as bothersome as that damned Dremora. No matter. The votive rune is placed, and now you die.
You brought this on yourself, Dagonist. Hey, you, with the glowing hands. We have something in common. If you're not a cultist, we should talk. Damn these Waking Flame cultists, bringing their Mehrunes Dagon madness to Fargrave. Their votive runes infect mortals with dark magic. I came to meet someone about all this when I spotted that cultist and my hands began to glow. Just like yours. This is Fargrave, a city in Oblivion with permanent and open connections to other realms. The cultists place those votive runes faster than I can destroy them, putting every mortal who lives here at risk. That's why I agreed to meet with the Dremora. Lyrinth, the Dremora. She sent me a letter. Said the cult threatened Fargrave. Nirn, too. She wanted my help, but I can't deal with that now. The votive runes are clearly the immediate danger. We should work together on this. I can pay. I need you to talk to my contacts. Madam Wim's establishment is here in the city. Initiate Teal'co meets me in the Burn, out in the Deadlands. See what they know about the votive runes and the cult's plans. Then meet me in the Fargrave Crafting Plaza. Madam Wim is a dark seducer who has her thumb on the pulse of Fargrave. Nothing happens here that she isn't keenly aware of. She deals in favors and information, for a price. And the more you seek her help, the more expensive her services become. Initiate Teal'co is a member of the Order of the Waking Flame. He was my friend before the cult recruited him. Turns out, Teal'co's had a change of heart. He's been providing me with inside information about where the cult plans to strike next. Madam Wim runs an establishment in Fargrave called the House of Whims. Just be careful. She enjoys getting her hooks in new arrivals. You'll find Initiate Teal'co in the Deadlands, an area known as the Burn. The Plaza of Portals will take you there. The Plaza of Portals is one of Fargrave's most important locations. A series of permanent gateways to other realms in Oblivion. One of those realms is the Deadlands, the domain of Mehrunes Dagon. Is it? I hadn't noticed. Look, we only just met. If you turn out to be trustworthy, I'll tell you the strange tale. If not, well, we'll deal with that if it becomes necessary. Perhaps. And maybe it's just a fashion statement. Now, go talk to Madam Wim and Initiate Teal'co while I make my rounds. I need to check on my charges around the city. As a crossroads, it's natural for people from everywhere to wind up here. I check on the mortals of the city on a regular basis, help them as I can. That's why Wim calls me the Fool of Fargrave, because I care. And it's why I abhor the Dagonists. The Order of the Waking Flame. They appeared a few weeks ago, proselytizing in the plazas. Then they started placing those votive runes. Some kind of prayer to Mehrunes Dagon. But it intensifies mortal emotions. The runes are bad. I'm certain of it. Not a lot.
She's apparently a Dremora, and she's interested in the activities of the Dagon cult known as the Order of the Waking Flame. This is where we were supposed to meet, but all I saw was that cultist and the votive rune he was casting. No. The votives mess with mortal emotions, make everything more intense. Not sure why. Lyranth said the magic in her letter would allow her to recognize me. I think that's what the glow was. If only I could get the Grasp to care about all this. The Grasp of the Stricture. They're an order of Daedra, mostly Dremora, who serve as arbiters and interpreters of the Stricture. A magical covenant that allows Fargrave to serve as neutral ground for all Daedra. They enforce the laws, to a point. Well, since mortals aren't bound to the Stricture, the Grasp pretty much ignores us, unless we interfere with the Stricture in some way. As long as the cult and its votive runes only threaten mortals, the Grasp simply doesn't care. The glow seems to have faded, for now.
Another poor mortal succumbed to the power of the Dagonic votives. How unfortunate. But what's this? A new face? And what does Madam Whim always say? New faces bring new opportunities. Let's talk. Has anyone ever told you that you have an incomparable mien? Most in this celestial palanquin we call Fargrave have the barest patina on their auras. But you? I know multiple buyers who would pay top price for a soul like yours. Shall we trade? What? Poor Josette? She's one of my favorite regulars. At least she was, before the votives affected her. First, she became belligerent, then extremely melancholy. Now she's practically mindless. But tell me, darling, what brings you to Madam Whim's? She did she? All true. But I hate to brag. She's an unusual mortal, though, isn't she? Our darling of the alleys. And clever. She sent you so as not to increase her tab at the House of Whims. As a new customer, your first transaction is free. Ah, two topics on the lips of many a Fargravian. The Dagonists are mortal rabble with a fetish for destruction. The votive runes are prayers to their prince made manifest. Spells that seem to affect only mortals, like poor Josette here. An interesting question. Alas, I have no answer. But you're not the only newcomer to our fair city seeking such knowledge. My eyes about town tell me that Lyranth the Dremora has come to Fargrave. She's in the shambles, searching for Sister Seldina. You want more? I'm giving away an awful lot as part of your free sample, but I am feeling generous today. Sister Seldina leads the Dagonists here in Fargrave. She and Lyranth seem to have it out for one another, though I have yet to ascertain why. As the name implies, I trade in eccentricities and capriciousness. I buy and sell as impulse dictates. My establishment carries indulgences from across Oblivion. And information, of course, along with food, drinks, and an amenity for every appetite. Oh, the mortal on the floor? No, I don't believe so. The spell is quite potent. I suspect the votive runes have a darker purpose than simply elevating emotions and turning mortals into mindless husks. Pity the Grasp refuses to investigate. The Grasp of the Stricture. They enforce law and order in Fargrave. The Stricture is a covenant that binds all Daedra and allows us to operate somewhat in concert. Since mortals aren't bound by the covenant, the Grasp tends to pay them no mind. An apt description, if somewhat inaccurate. They do enforce Fargrave's laws, but in ways that won't always be comprehensible to the limits of mortal understanding. Try not to commit any crimes in front of them, and they won't harass you. Probably. You came here without knowing, darling. How refreshing. Like an otherworldly conveyance, Fargrave personifies the existential concepts of transit or passage. It did start out as a strange nomadic realm, after all. That's part of the city's allure. It means if you want to travel the myriad corridors of Oblivion, there's no better launching point than fabulous Fargrave. In addition to our famous Plaza of Portals, the entire realm is littered with dimensional access ways. Plus, we have no prince. Without a prince to set the laws and manipulate Fargrave's reality, we're free to shape this city as we choose. The freedom that affords us is sublime. Plus, no prince means less chaos and violence in the streets, rogue cultists notwithstanding. Aren't they beautiful? One of our best features. No one is quite sure who or what they were, but legend has it they once carried the city from plane to plane, hence the allusion to a palanquin. Is it true? Well, the skeletons are real enough. A personal query? That will cost extra, my darling. I am a Mezken, what your kind commonly call a dark seducer. Unlike many of my brothers and sisters, I use my charms to beguile and entice for knowledge and profit. I have no interest in violence. A terrible place. I urge caution if you decide to venture there. It's a warren of alleys, tenements, and ruins, hidden behind thick walls. Many mortals live there in the most appalling conditions, but it can also be a good place to conduct business. Oh, innocent mortal. The kind of business best engaged in, where the grasp of the Stricture doesn't reach. It's a perfect location to hide a Dagonist cult, seeking to cause chaos and mayhem. I'm surprised our darling of the alleys didn't mention that. Darling of the alleys, fool of Fargrave, woman in the mask. Ever since the anchorite arrived in Fargrave, she's gone out of her way to help the mortals cast upon our shore, and she asks for nothing in return. Pity I know so little else about her. Now, what should we do with Josette?
All of you, stay away from me! Stay away!
weak mortals would be no match for the king.
You're not the person I was supposed to meet. What do you want? Explain yourself, stranger. The Deadlands isn't a place for chance encounters. The Anchorite promises to get me away from the cult in exchange for information. I hold up my end of the bargain, and what do I get? Another fool seeking knowledge from Portilgo. This is the last time, you hear? Make sure the Anchorite knows that. They don't tell lowly initiates all the details of their master plan, but I hear things. Sister Seldina wants to take over Fargrave, make it an offering to Mehrunes Dagon. The votive runes play a part in that, but I don't know exactly how. Sister Seldina leads the Fargrave cell. She has a grand vision for the Waking Flame. It starts with Fargrave, but it doesn't end there. She wants control of the portals. With them, she can hand Lord Dagon all of Oblivion. Even Nirn would be in reach. The Dremora? She's practically all the Order's old guard talk about these days. Seems she's been causing a lot of trouble for Sister Seldina, interfering with her plans. Something's about to happen. Tell the Anchorite. Fargrave's in danger. The Order has camps throughout Fargrave and the Deadlands. Sister Seldina could be anywhere. But tell the Anchorite to check the shambles. Look for an abandoned building, someplace hot. I heard one of the Devastators complaining about the heat. If we were talking about the Deadlands, no. But the Shambles is a different story. That section of Fargrave can't have too many places hot enough to make a Devastator uncomfortable. The Anchorite will figure it out. What? You assume every Dagonist is a true believer willing to do whatever their superiors tell them? I joined up because they promised me a better life. A way to escape the Shambles. But they lied. The Anchorite agreed to help me, for a price. If Sister Seldina knew I was talking to you or the Anchorite, my life wouldn't be worth a scab on an Ogrim's elbow. I want out! Look, tell the Anchorite. She can find me at the Bearer's Rest in Fargrave when she's really ready to help an old friend. Tell the Anchorite I'll be at the Bearer's Rest. She owes me, and I expect her to honor our agreement.
Disaster is coming! Fargrave is doomed!
There's no point. No point at all.
Over here, friend.
Lord Dagon will visit Disaster.
These new
upon
Dagonists
this
are barely worth the effort. I followed them into the plaza and destroyed the votive rune before they even noticed I was there. And the Grasp decided to get involved, finally. Hey, did you learn anything from my contacts? Madam Wim didn't charge you, I hope. She usually lets you sample her wares for free the first time. After that, it gets expensive. The Shambles is a big place, but now we know more than we did when we started. Did you also make contact with Teal'co? What? In the Shambles? Must be the old baths. The furnaces beneath the bathhouse have been burning forever. But what was that about the votive runes? How does Sister Seldina plan to use them to conquer Fargrave? Damn it! No one is going to conquer Fargrave if I have any say in the matter. I suppose we need to investigate the old bathhouse. If we find Sister Seldina, maybe we'll find Lyranth too. Let's meet in the Shambles. We can discuss our options there. Once we enter the Shambles, we can work our way together to the old bathhouse. The Shambles can be a dangerous place, but it's also where the majority of Fargrave's mortals live. Warrens and dark alleys fill the area. There are 3 main paths through the Shambles. We can take any of them to reach the bathhouse. Just that it's mostly abandoned, hasn't been used by anyone but squatters and vagrants for years. It's isolated at the northern end of the Shambles, easy to secure and unbearably hot. The perfect location for the Dagonist leaders to plot and scheme. And I said I'd tell you, once I was sure I could trust you. Let's find out what's waiting for us at the bathhouse. Try to make contact with Lyranth for Dremora. After that, we'll see.
Move, mortals, flee! You will see. Lord Dagon will devour you and...
Choose a direction. East through Skane Row, through the Western Wilds, or directly north through the Central Plaza.
Advance!
Us into the bathhouse, if we can open it. Locked, and with magic. Damn. If the main door is sealed, let's see if we can get in through the courtyard. That door leads to the courtyard and isn't warded. Can you pick the lock? That opening in the box. Maybe we can get into the bathhouse. We should be able to find a way inside through the Undercroft. It runs beneath the bathhouse. Another ward. I think we can get past this one, though. I have an idea. Unlike the door outside, this area contains everything we need to disrupt the magic sustaining the ward and dispel it. I've seen the Daedra use these crystals to do all sorts of things. I spotted a lucent among the debris in this hall. It's a Daedric crystal that can absorb and store the background energy that pulses through all the realms of Oblivion. We'll need that to get started. Then take the lucent to the Dynamis font over there. That background energy I mentioned, the font absorbs it. Place the lucent on the font, and it will fill it with the charged energy. Finally, insert the charged lucent into the discharge labrum beside the door. That will release the energy from the crystal and disrupt the ward. That's the idea, anyway. I've seen the Daedra do all sorts of things using lucents, fonts, and labrums. Remember, find a lucent, charge it in the Dynamis font, then place the charged crystal in the labrum beside the door. Once you understand how lucents function, you can use them to accomplish all sorts of things throughout the realms of Oblivion. As I understand it, lucents form naturally in the void and occasionally rain down on the various realms. Some say they're actually crystallized bits of Oblivion. Who knows? I've seen Daedra gather them, charge them, and make use of their energy. Well, as long as you have lucents, a Dynamis font, and a discharge labrum, you can use the energy to open gates, ignite furnaces, operate torture devices, all sorts of things. We're going to use it to overcharge the ward on that door and dispel it. Look, I just observed how the Daedra use them. The Dynamis font is sort of like a spring. Instead of water, energy wells up. Could be an Atronach trapped in there. Or maybe it's the ambient dynamism that flows through the space between the realms. I'm not a Daedric scholar, alright? I just know what I know. Dynamism. I heard the Dremora talking about it at Madame Wim's. It's what some call the energy of Oblivion. Or the energy in Oblivion? It's confusing, but it's energy that we can use. Basically, when you plug a charged lucent into the labrum, it releases the energy stored in the crystal. Most of the labrums I've seen are integrated into some larger mechanism. I'm not sure what this one was originally used for. You could, but you'd also get a destructive explosion. Better to control the release by using the labrum. Besides, the lucents can be used over and over again, but not if you shatter them. That's definitely a lucent. Now take the place the lucent in the Dynamis font, and it should fill it with energy. That did it. Look how the crystal crackles. Insert the charged crystal into the labrum. It worked! And now you know how to use a charged lucent. Let's see what's behind that door.